feeling this morning? Hope everybody having a great and wonderful day. Let's get on here and talk a little music, man. Let's do what we do. Maybe somebody sitting at the house and like, man, I always want to play piano or want to do something different and never had a chance to. So I'm gonna do my best to kind of help out with that, maybe with that process. So let's get it in. Now, how y'all feeling this morning? All right, we're gonna talk some cards this morning. We're gonna talk a little structure of music and getting some stuff together. All right, so we talk a little music and chord placements, chord tones, arrangements, and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do this weekly. We'll build on it. So if you got any questions or want something that you want me to explain for us music wise, I do my very best to help anybody in their musical journey. So what's up, my brother? Man, what's good? What's good? What's good? Hey, the best Call of Duty. I forgot I had tagged it, but I get on some Call of Duty here in a minute. Well, I'm finna get on some Madden in a minute here, but man, shout out to everybody, my bros. Hey, I try to do a little bit of everything: some music, some gaming, some financial stuff. So like, hang in here with me. If you like music, we'll talk a little music. All right, so let's go to the key of C. If anybody know music, that's gonna be your middle note right there. So C is always gonna be to the left of the two black keys. So when we talk about music and building songs and building chord structure and really the simplicity of music and everything that you can ever do with music is based around like chordal tones and scales. And mostly in Western music, I had a chance to really live over in Africa for 2 years and been to Japan and a lot of different other countries. In a lot of countries, they use what we call pentatonic scales, five note scales. But most of our Western music is built around what we call diatonic scales, which are seven note scales. And so I'm gonna work on some chords and build some things and show some chord tones. So it's not gonna everything not gonna happen today. I'm gonna do this weekly, and if it get good, I'll do it more than one day a week. We'll talk a lot of chords. So first thing we're gonna jump into, if you got your keyboard, if you got some pen and paper, write it down. But the video will be up. You can go back and watch it. So we're gonna start in the key of C. So the C is an all natural scale. It has no sharps or flats. So when I say all natural scale, that means there are no rises and falls on the keyboard. The black notes have the same value as the white notes. So if I play that D flat, C sharp, those notes are inharmonic to each other. So if I go, so let's gonna start with C. We're gonna start with the C scale. So it's gonna be C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and once you get to that B, you'll reach C again. That's your full C major scale, your Iodian scale. So if we're talking modes, so that'll be your first scale in there. So like I say, let's go through that again. It's gonna be your C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then once you get to the eighth tone, it's gonna be you're starting over. So seven is a completion, eight is a new beginning. So if you get to that part there, so then when you inside your diatonic scales, Everything that you build off of that is going to be your chordal structures, major chords and minor chords. So inside of all your diatonic scales, you have two sets and pairs. There's some twins that's in there, and then you have one odd person that's not really a part of the family. So if I look at that first chord, the first chord is going to be a major chord. That's going to be a C chord. Then the next chord, the two chord, will be a minor chord. That's your D minor. The third chord will be a minor chord. That's going to be your E minor. Your fourth chord will be a major chord, and that's going to be F major. And then your fifth chord will be a major chord. That's your G chord. The sixth chord is your A, and it's going to be a minor. Then that last chord is going to be a diminished chord. And then you start back over to your C. Alright, so go back to that again. So you have 3 majors, 3 minors, 1 diminished. Every scale. I don't care if it's what mode you're dealing in. When people start talking, and as I say, if you stick with me long enough, I get into the modes. I get into jazz chord phrasing and breaking down common tones and secondary chords and all that kind of stuff to give it to you. But I'm just trying to. We're gonna build from the ground up. So, like I say, if you ride with me, I'm giving you some. We'll get to the Berkeley stuff, and but I'm just trying to build y'all on the foundation right now. So, if you already play, this is probably not the lesson with you. Just hang in here, and I get to some of, like I say, those passing tones and broken chords and things like that. So let's go back to it. So C is gonna be your major, D is gonna be your minor, E is gonna be your minor, F is gonna be a major, G is gonna be a major, A is your minor, B is a diminished, and C. So you might say, well, okay, what makes these chords and what makes a major, what makes a minor? I know you hitting the notes. It look like all of them have 3 in there. Okay, yo, those are called tritones. I'm sorry, triads. Tritones are sharp fourths and things like that. So that's your triad chord. Your triad is made of 3 tones, and when you play a chord, it doesn't matter if you starting with if I got C E G, that's a C. That's a C chord. Those notes make a C chord. No matter if I go C E G, E G C, or G C E. If I play it again, it's going to be back to the root position, but just an octave higher. So within there, so when I played the scale, remember we looked at the scale and we said, well, we have 7 tones in that scale. The 8th tone is going to make a new octave. So I go C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. So when you're building chords for every diatonic scale that you have, the chords that you play for that scale should fit properly within the proper notation of that scale. So if I play the C chord, all 3 notes fit in that scale. C, the E, and the G. Now if I go to my D chord, if I play a D major, one of the notes is going to be a tritone. It's going to be that F sharp. That F sharp is not with, doesn't lie naturally in the C scale. So if I play that D chord, the F sharp here, a G flat, F sharp would be the inhumanic name for that note. But so if I play that chord there, that note's outside the scale. So for me to make that note work in the scale, I have to lower that G flat a half step to that F, and it'll make it a D minor chord. Okay. Same thing with the E. So if I move to the E, if I play E in the natural E major chord, the third is outside the scale. That's going to be that A flat or G sharp. So I need to lower that A flat down to a G. Now we're back in the scale. Now if I go to the F, all those notes reside in the scale, so I can play all 3 of them. So that's F, A, C. All those notes is in there. The next chord in there be G. G will be a major too because it's the same way. G is G. So that'll give you a G chord. All 3 of those notes in there. Now A is a minor chord, but A has a cool part about it. It's the relative minor chord. So if I play a regular A, that's your A minor. If I raise that C, the major third up to the C, that's gonna be it'll make it a A chord. So that'll be that C sharp. Okay, so but that C sharp, D flat is not in the scale, so I need to lower it back down. Bam. Okay, so now I'm at the A minor. Now the B chord, it's the unique part about it. It you have to lower the third and the fifth. That what makes a diminish. A diminish is lowering the third and the fifth tone. A B chord, both of the tone, the third and the fifth tone, will be out the scale. So that's your natural B chord. Okay, so the B, the E flat, and the G flat. I'm gonna change this to sharps so you can get them in the sharp part. Let me put sharps on there. Bam, man! Thank y'all for tuning in this morning. Like I say, if y'all got any song requests, all that cool stuff, I'll hook it up for y'all. But like I said, I really want to help build people from from the ground up. That way, when we get into the heavy stuff, uh, it won't be like, oh man, I don't understand anything he's saying because I teach a lot of theory. Okay, so let me see if it. Yeah, now it has it in the sharps. Okay, so let's go. So we're going back through it. So on that B, the that's your root tone. The B is the root tone. That D sharp will be your third tone. That F sharp will be your fifth tone. Okay, so but for it to work into the side of the C scale, I need both of those tones to lower down. So I need to lower the third and I need to lower the fifth. That'll give you a B diminished. So a minor chord is lowering the third tone. So when I say the third tone, it's gonna be so like if this C, bam, got a C. So that's your C major. But if I lower that E from an E to E flat, see at the top it makes it a minor. So it drops that tone now. So but all my chords will work perfectly inside of that. So C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, root back to the root chord octave higher. Okay. So I said when I played the A minor, I said, man, well the A has a special part to it because the A is what we call the relative minor. That means I can start on the A and play exactly the same C major scale, but I can play it from the minor position and it'll be the same thing. So a lot of times in music, music makes modes and give you moods and feelings and different things like that. So if I play a C major scale, but I start on the sixth, which would be that A minor, this is how you make a lot of your hip hop songs, a lot of your things that you're doing in R&B, especially jazz. Jazz do a lot of starting on the two chord using that Dorian scale and mode and stuff. That's all. But I'm not going to give you too much. We'll jump into doing those things when I don't want to make it too heavy for you. But when I talk about the relative minor is the exact same scale. So if I go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, same as the C scale, but I just started on the A. And actually, with all the notes, you can start somewhere different and um, play the C scale through all seven. So, like I said, if you hang with me for a while, I'll most definitely break down how to get in there. So, if we're doing stuff with, so you say, okay, I got these notes. So I got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And I got this scale. Got some chords that go with it. Bam, C, E minor, F, G, A minor, I'm bringing back down. Okay, so we got this scale. Cool, I got that, but now how do I play a song out of that? All right, simply you can take the chords that you have and start putting together what we call progressions. And when we do progressions, you can do smaller things like taking some of the notes out the scale and building the chords around them, and then that allow us to start making progressions for songs. So but I'll keep it simple. We can C, then I can go to a four chord, F. So a lot of times when we play blues, blues is a lot of that 1 to the 4. So you have that, so that little movement on it. Then go to the 5. All right, so that's just like a real watered down version of making some movements that you can start building songs around it. So that one chord, so playing that one chord. All right, so that's all in the C scale, and that's just using just the 1, 4, and 5 out of the C scale. Now, like I said, we can dress it up, and we'll start adding um, ninths and 13ths and 11ths and all these different colors to make it sound a little bit more pleasurable in to the ear, where you're getting more tones. It doesn't sound so schoolish. So that's how we build, um, start building in. So now you have 12 tones on there. So we have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A, A sharp, B, then back to C. So each one of those notes that I play have a scale that's associated with it, and we'll play chords that's inside of that scale structure. But like I said, right now we're just working in the key of C and keeping it simple. Just give you something to work on, building up your cards. And like I said, we'll stay in C for a while, and I'll start giving you some different colors that we'll deal with. Like I say, we'll do like a C major 7 chord, C7 chord, C6, or A minor 7. But if the C is on the bass, it's a C. A minor 7 and C6 the same thing, just according to what notes on the bass. That's a C6. Now if I take that same note, same exact notes, and play the A on the bottom, it turns into the A minor 7. Those chords are built off the same thing, but the lowest tone. And a lot of times people are like, oh, I'm gonna play stuff high in the melody part, and your melody is cool. That's a lot of part that the people know. But your foundation, your bass player or organ player, or if the keyboard playing key bass, those low notes really determine what kind of chord it is. Because I could take an F major chord, still in the key of C, but then if I add the D to the bass, now it becomes a D minor 7. Same way if I change it, F over A, but it still could be spelled out like as an odd minute chord or something. But if I go to F and put over the G, that'll give you that odd, that sus chord, and giving you some of those things in there. So like I say, I can't give you a college 4-year course in 20 minutes. So like I said, if we're gonna do this weekly, we're gonna work on building a lot of things that allow us to talk this out. And like I say, I'm gonna give you some homework, give you some things to work on where you can work on cards and those things there. So let's go back and review for today, and we'll get back into it. So we're working in the key of C. C is a root note, so we have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Out of that, we're going to build our chords. So we have C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, and C. All right. So work on that. Rewind the video, watch it 100 times, get those chords in your hand, start working out it, and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna, like I said, make songs out of it, how we'll add different colors to it. Next week we'll work on some inversions. Like I said, we can play that C card, but I can invert that card a couple times. So that this would be, it's saying C over E, but it's the first inversion, second inversion, back to the root card. So I explain all that to you. So let's just give you a little look ahead of some things that we can work on for building out. So I said in the key of C, you have 7 tones. You have no sharps and no flats in the key of C. All of them are natural tones. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So that means all your chords that you should be working on shouldn't have any sharps or flats in it. C chord, C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, C. And so then we start adding those things to it. And I said we'll build it where we start working. See, that's all in the key of C. Alright, so we'll work on those things. Take the information. If you just joined in, got some people just kind of tuning in. We're working on some cards. Man, my boy Kadesh out of Florida, man, keyboard player extraordinaire himself. Man, thank you for tuning in, bro. Like I said, just giving out some free knowledge and information, getting some people up to tune and teaching a little theory as we go through this here. So, like I said, we're gonna learn how to build, like I say, secondary cards, passing cards, dominant 7 cards, and your different cards will make a difference in different styles of music. And that's one thing as a musician. Sometimes I hear people that come from one genre of music, they move to another genre of music, and they still playing a lot of those 7 cards. You know, 7 cards are really good for jazz, good for churchy stuff, good for um, jazz, church, but outside blues. But when you start doing pop use a lot of sus cards. Yeah, sus 2, sus 4, um, and like I said, so I'm gonna get y'all built into understanding all of these different cards, why we place these cards, how we use these cards to lead to other tones, common tones. Like I'm a big common tone player. When I listen to musicians play and you just pass and moving cards all around, but you're not keeping your melody and structure. And most music that's structurally written is written where it has a common tone because the vocalist is not jumping all over the place. It's usually a pocket that you're working in. And so being able to play with a vocalist or being able to work with somebody and give them the structure because as an organist or a keyboardist, I'm there to accompany somebody, not steal the show. So if you playing all these different melody lines over it, you may be actually detracting from what could be a great performance. And as Stevie Wonder would always say, sometimes less is more. And that's just something I really learned within playing music. Play the music, learn how to play the music. So that's why we're gonna start from the bottom. I want you to work on this here. So we got a C major scale again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Those chords spelled out in there. C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B diminished, C. And then when we come back next week, we'll work on inversions, and then I'll start working on adding some color to these tones. I diminished chords, the half diminished, full diminishes, building out passing tones and things like that. So, hey, I hope that y'all enjoying. If it's any information that I can give, I'll start putting together some PDF stuff that y'all can kind of download it too. But you can go back and watch it. I'll leave all these videos up that you have it. So give me your feedback. Let me know if you're learning anything. Maybe some particular genres of music that y'all want me to dive into and break down. Neo soul, those padded cards and all that kind of stuff. So whatever I can help with, do my best to give back and be a part of this whole world of energy that positive change that we need to have going on in the world. So, hey, it's your boy Kirk, and it's Kirk TV. Thank you for tuning in.